Hello and welcome back to Snack Break, the perfect podcast to pop on while preparing your cup of tea or ideal snack or beverage. It's been a little while since we've done one of these, hasn't it? And we've got a massive show coming up to mark the return of our normal schedule. Coming up today, we're going to be discussing the very best of award season with an Oscars and Brits breakdown coming up. With Doctor Who, which recently released the first full-length trailer for the upcoming Season 2 of the new era of the show. The trailer, which came a week after the announcement of a release date, April 12th, 2025, that's for the first one episode? I think, or two. It's Disney, so probably be two. I'd imagine they'll do a two-episode beginning drop. Gave us extended looks at brand new companion Belinda Chandra, a guest role from Alan Cumming, and Doctor Who meets Eurovision. Yes! The trailer releases after a torrent of media attention, however, claiming that not only is Ncuti Gatwa leaving the show, but that the show, in its entirety, will be put on hiatus after this season. I do want to touch on this very briefly. On the whole, thought the Season 2 trailer looked absolutely amazing. Looks like we're trying something a little bit different. Certainly looks darker. There's a lot more going on, and certainly, once again, playing into that area of gods and mythos and all that stuff that Doctor Who Season 1 sort of promised and on some days did and on some days did not quite so much achieve. So it certainly looks very, very good. There's a ton of stuff in there I'd like to talk about, and perhaps we'll do that next episode because it's a busy one coming up today. As for the Doctor Who rumour cancellations, I don't really know. I think from what I've heard from watching WhoTubers and all the different stuff that's going around the media at the moment, it is looking like there's some validity to the suggested regeneration of Ncuti Gatwa, or certainly the fact that he will be leaving the show, whether or not we get regeneration. Again, some of these articles will argue that we will, some will argue that we won't. I have to say, I do believe that Ncuti Gatwa may be leaving the show. I think that's, once again, that's something we'll touch on in greater detail closer to the time, but I really hope this is not the case. Ncuti's been a great Doctor so far, although a lot of his best episodes have actually been Doctor-light ones, and that's not saying something about the quality of the Doctor, more just the quality of the stories that he's been involved in. And for that reason, so far looking back on Ncuti Gatwa's era of the show, the best episodes are 73 yards, but that's a Dr. Light episode. What we're looking at, Joy to the World and Space Babies otherwise, one of which was great and one of which was fine. And so for that reason, I think they're going to have to really deliver for this to be a worthy goodbye to the era of the 15th Doctor. But please, this new season looks so good. We've got spin-offs coming up. Please, Disney, have mercy on the show. Anyway, Radio 2 announced that from May, weekends will see a brand new lineup. Rob Becker will be leaving the station to focus on his stand-up work, with Pick of the Pops, hosted by Mark Goodyear, moving to the time slot previously occupied by Beckett. On a Saturday, his slot will be replaced by Zoe Ball, who will return for the station for a weekly show. And on Monday mornings, 12 to 3 a.m, Phil Williams will be replaced by Richie E. Anderson. Very, very exciting stuff there. It's sad, I think, that we've got Rob Beckett and Phil Williams both leaving the station, although perhaps, I know certainly Williams will be returning to the station for cover. Very exciting, though, to have Zoe Ball returning, I think, or I thought when she was announced to be departing the show, and they were very vague with what exactly she'd be doing on the station from then on. I was sort of fearing that she wouldn't make much of a return, and it would maybe just be the occasional special. But I think, given that she hosted the breakfast show so well for 6 years, I think it's really nice for her to still have a slot on the station, and that is no doubt going to be really, really good. And Richie Anderson, in addition to doing the travel, now getting his own show. Very exciting. Really enjoyed his Eurovision coverage and just previous stand-ins over the last little while, so that's very, very good. And I think Pick of the Pops will certainly fit in very well to that more music-heavy Sunday afternoon. Next up, the final trailer was released for a Minecraft movie. Now less than a month away from the film's release, how the trailer was allowed for extended looks at the Nether, a village, and pandas. In other Minecraft news, the first Minecraft Live of the year was also announced, with March 22nd set to reveal update news and brand new movie footage. This is a first for the game, with Minecraft Lives usually only happening once a year. Mojang announced last October that events will now be taking place roughly every 6 months. With regards to Minecraft Live, I'm going to have to see what they announce on the day. It's, yay, we're getting another Minecraft Live. That's great. The quality of that, really, we can't judge in the slightest until the actual event happens itself. As for the Minecraft movie new trailer, it's again, I still feel I'm not even... I feel at this stage I'm no longer judging this film as an adaptation of the game that I so love. And I really do love Minecraft. And I feel I'm no longer judging it by that standard, because my brain just does not want to have to deal with the idea that this is connected to Minecraft, which I really, really do love, and I think is such a vast sandbox for creativity. I'm more just viewing this as, oh look, it's a blockbuster movie with Jack Black and Jason Momoa and all these wonderful actors, and no longer judging it as in any way connected to Minecraft. So on the blockbuster front, yeah, it looks quite fun and silly. On the Minecraft front, yeah, not much done there to redeem my faith in it as an adaptation of Minecraft. But hey, as I mentioned, we're less than a month away from the movie's release now. So we'll just have to wait and see. And on that bombshell, no Top Gear reference there. That's it for this week's edition of Pop Culture News. Now, seeing as this is the go-to award episode of the year, it seems only right that we cover the big music one. I am, of course, referring to the Brits. However, I'm going to be entirely honest. I don't know that much about the Brits. Sure, I love the performances. Jade was very good. There were great coats. Of course, well, great clothes, but really, it was the great coat of Teddy Swims, swimming in teddy bears. Yes, very clever. That most particularly perked my interest there. However, it does seem necessary that we go through it, and so as to... I don't want to do it an injustice, but hey, we've only got 20 minutes for this podcast. So, without further ado, I present to you the Brits Awards 2025, read loosely as though it was the official charts, and this is sounding like a worse and worse idea the further I go on. So, Artists of the Year, we have Bibadoo B, Central C, Dua Lipa, Fred again, Jamie XX, Michael Kiwanuka, Nia Archives, Rachel Chinarori, Sam Fender, with the winner being Charlie XCX, of course, for Brat Summer. Group of the Year, we have Bring Me the Horizon, Coldplay, Ezra Collective, The Cure, and Last Dinner Party facing it out. But Ezra Collective, not George Ezra, Ezra Collective, that is. Again, nothing to do with George Ezra, taking the prize in the end. And Album of the Year, Charlie XCX making another return. Of course, it was Brat Summer. Let's go. Once again, Song of the Year, Charlie XCX, featuring Billie Eilish. Guess other nominees on there included Sam Ryder, Eurovision star, Your Christmas to Me, Miles Smith, Stargazing, and sorry, I've just seen this, KSI, Thick of It. Okay, onwards to Best New Artist. On there we have English Teacher, Last Dinner Party, Ezra Collective, Miles Smith, Rachel Chinarori with Last Dinner Party, taking away not the last award of the night. Sadly, I'm sure people were getting a bit tired by this stage. International Artist of the Year, we had Tyler the Creator, Taylor Swift, Kendrick Lamar, Billie Eilish, Beyonce, Benson Boone, Adrienne Lenker, Asake, all nominated, but Chappell Roan took away a much, much deserved award. It's been a really good season for her, so great to see her claiming yet another award, much deserved. She's got new music on the way. International Group of the Year, Fontaine's DC took that home, also on there, featuring Retro Booming, Emil and the Sniffers, and several others. International Song of the Year, Good Luck Babe, she won. It was Chappell Roan. Also on there, Benson Boone, Beyonce, Billie Eilish, Joe, spelled D-J-O, Eminem, Hozier, Jack Harlow, Noah Khan, and the list goes on. So I'm going to stop it there. Best Alternative Rock Act. On there we had Last Dinner Party, Ezra Collective, both of whom have already taken up or already received awards that we've covered here. Also on there, Bieber and The Cure. But Sam Fender took away a much deserved award. What a meteoric rise it has been for him. And to come in there, win Alternative Rock Act. just another piece of cement in the wall of Fender greatness. Winner of Best Hip Hop Grime / Rap Act, it's Stormzy, and Best Dance Act, taking away yet another award, Charlie XCX. Also on there included Fred Again, Chasing Status, and Nia Archives, as well as Becky Hill. Best Pop Act, making her non-Little Mix debut, we had Jade. Best R&B Act, it was Ray. Also on there, Michael Kinawaki and Georgia Smith, among others. Winner, Miles Smith for Rising Star, much deserved. Global Success Award, Sabrina Carpenter. Again, no nominees for these last few ones. Songwriter of the Year, Charlie XCX, and Producer of the Year, A.G. Cook. Whew! And that is your Brits Recap 2024. I think I need to lie down now. And now, for something I can barely contain my excitement for. Because, finally, on the month on which the deadline hits, the UK have announced their act for the Eurovision Song Contest 2025. I'm not going to do a big dramatic reveal because it was already sort of spoiled a few weeks before the official announcement, and even if you weren't aware of that, as I didn't know that it had been spoiled. And if you're not aware of that, you've probably already seen the official announcement now. It is indeed country trio Remember Monday, representing the UK in Basel, Eurovision Song Contest 2025. Their song is called What the Hell Just Happened. And that was sort of my reaction upon listening to it for the first time. And I think that's probably going to be fairly similar. I think that's maybe going to apply to quite a lot of people, because there is a lot going on within this song. As a lot of the articles have mentioned, Remember Monday do come from a sort of mildly country background. They've been on The Voice they were on The Voice in 2019 and were picked by all 4 judges. They got to the quarterfinals of that, I believe, and they seem like a lot of fun. So the song has been described by the BBC as, I'm sort of paraphrasing here, as imagine if Sam Ryder, ABBA, and the cast of Six the Musical got together, got blackout drunk, and attempted to recreate Bohemian Rhapsody from memory. And there's certainly lingerings and inspirations from everything listed within here. It's certainly very theatrical and very reminiscent of a lot of the pop that I think is going around at the moment within the UK. Yet, crucially, I think it's quite different to what we've had the past few years. Obviously, Spaceman was a massive success for the UK. Ollie Alexander with Dizzy and Mae Muller Instead I Wrote a Song. Sadly, not so much. But interestingly, all of those songs really, and I suppose the latter two particularly, I think it's fair to say, have been very love-centric. It's all about love and all that jazz. Whereas this is not to do with that at all. It's about waking up after a big night out and experiencing the carnage that sort of lies around the rooms. That is made very clear in the music video. Exactly how much inspiration that will provide for the actual performance on stage, I am not sure. I wasn't a huge fan of the music video, but the song itself is absolutely wonderful. There's so much in there to get excited for, and it is just such a non-stop thrill ride that it's really, really enjoyable. I just hope that it can make a little bit of an impact globally before it's actually heard at Eurovision. As I mentioned, the first time you hear it, I do think it's a little bit of a what did I just experience sort of moment, because it just managed to pack so much into that tight 3-minute run. And it honestly, in the 3-minute version, it feels like a lot longer somehow. It feels like 4 or 5 minutes even. It feels Bohemian Rhapsody-esque in length, but it somehow isn't. And I think that's definitely its strength. But the first time around you hear it, as I mentioned there, it is certainly quite a surprise. So I just hope, like Sam Ryder did, I hope the promotion is strong enough here to certainly to have other countries getting behind this a bit, in addition to their own songs. There were people out there getting excited for Sam Ryder, and I think that's certainly, a few years ago that was, and I think that's certainly something we saw again last year with Nemo winning his song had a lot of buzz and press around it prior to release. And I really hope that this is a fantastic, well, it is a fantastic song in my opinion, but I just really hope the promotion and press can back it up before it's released. We certainly will be doing that here on the Snack Break podcast. Lots of Eurovision goss and news coming up over the next few episodes. So there we go. Remember Monday, Eurovision Song Contest 2025. Here we come. And last but not least, on this episode, this jam-packed episode of Snack Break, if you don't mind me saying, it is the Oscars. Or, as some people call it, the 97th Academy Award. Or the 2025 Oscars. We're starting at the top here with our breakdown of the awards. Anora took home Best Picture. Also on the list was Wicked and Dune Part 2. Really the big blockbuster movies on the list. Always exciting for me, who likes the blockbuster stuff. And 2 very good blockbuster films, I should say, see those on the list. Also on there, we have A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Paris, I'm Still Here, and Nickel Boys. But Anora took the awards home. I was actually expecting Amelia Paris to take that, especially given its the real excitement that seems to surround it, particularly at the awards. However, I know that hasn't had a lot of popularity outside the awards. Some people have compared it to Academy slop. We're now just making stuff that appeals to the Academies and no one else. Taking another award, Anora, in the Best Actress category. That was Mikey Madison. Also in there, we had Wicked, Amelia Paris, The Substance, and I'm Still Here, and all the Best Actors connected to that. Then in Best Actor, we had The Brutalist, not about a murder, as I thought it was, for an embarrassing amount of time. That's about architecture, believe it or not. Then in Best Supporting Actress, Zoe Saldana for Amelia Paris. That has to be I have to admit, that's who I was expecting to win. I wanted Ariana Grande for Wicked to win. It's the only one I've seen in there, so I suppose that makes sense. Then Best Supporting Actor, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. That's doing really, really well. That's our Home Alone guy. Look at him now. He's a big Oscar. He's a big Oscar winner. Then Best Director, Anora, taking home yet another victory. From what I've heard about Sean Baker since his acceptance of the award, he edited, purely for the love of film, he edited, he couldn't get work within the big shiny lights of Hollywood, darling. He edited wedding videos, so he just clearly really loves the craft. So for that reason, I think very much deserved, although no doubt all the directors on there really deserved it. Then for Best International Feature, we have I'm Still Here from Brazil. Also on there again was Amelia Paris, and interestingly and amazingly, an animated feature being nominated for a non-animated feature category, or outside that Best Animated Feature. That was Flow. That sadly did not take Best International Feature, but did get Best Animated Feature, coming from a relatively indie, well, it is an indie studio, competing alongside the likes of Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, which really scooped up at the BAFTAs, Wild Robot, and Inside Out 2. Have to say, I wanted Wild Robot to win in there. I'm yet to see Flow. Really need to watch it because it looks beautiful. So nonetheless, happy to see that the Academy Awards are at least partially championing small creatives. So that's really exciting to see. Best Original Screenplay, Sean Baker, once again. Not for a director, but now for Anora. Then Best Adapted Screenplay, Conclave, Peter Strogan? Apologies, that's no doubt been pronounced incorrectly. Best Original Song, second award for Amelia Paris, that was El Mal. Also on there we had The Journey, Like a Bird, Mi Camino, and Never Too Late from 6888, or The 6888. Sing Sing, Amelia Paris, and Elton John, Never Too Late, respectively. Best Original Score went to The Brutalists. This did have me sort of like pounding the tables quite angrily when I saw this, because although I haven't watched The Brutalist, I was really rooting for Wicked or The Wild Robot here. And The Brutalist got it, but I'm fine. Best Documentary Feature, that was No Other Land. Best Costume Design, Wicked takes away an award. Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Wicked was once again nominated for that, but The Substance got that. Best Production Design, Wicked takes away its second and final award of the night. Best Sound, winner, Dune Part 2. That is so much deserved. The soundscape for that movie, particularly in the cinemas, but really anywhere where you've got semi-decent sound, it is just fabulous. You've on that list as well, you've got A Complete Unknown, Amelia Paris, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. But Dune Part 2, so deserving of that award. Best film editing, it's the guy who did wedding videos and has worked his way up. So deserved. Anora. Best cinematography, The Brutalist. Best visual effects, Dune Part 2. Again, on that list, you had Alien, Romulus, Better Man, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Wicked, and hey, Dune, which they thought could never be adapted, beat the Robbie Williams biopic. So, yay. Great. Best live action short, I'm Not a Robot. Best animated short, In the Shadow of Cypress. Best documentary short, last but not least, The Only Girl in the Orchestra. And that is your Oscars recap for 2025. All in all, I thought this was, from my point of view, my big blockbuster enjoying sensibilities were somewhat disappointed, although I feel the joy for me certainly came a lot more from the nominations, where you saw Dune Part 2, The Wild Robot, Flow, all these amazing films that I haven't watched Flow yet, but I'm enjoying the press and media surrounding it, given that it comes from a smaller team of creatives, or a very small team of creatives. And seeing sort of the big, more widely watched blockbusters alongside some small films in there, really doing quite well in the nominations. And in a few cases, the actual awards was really exciting to see. Of course, Anora and Amelia Paris were the main winners, but hey, that's the Oscars. That is it for this week's episode of Snack Break, the perfect podcast pop on while preparing your cup of tea or ideal snack or beverage. Thank you very, very much for listening. I've been Ben Goodblue. This has been a Hungry Capybara production. If you would like to email the show about anything that we discussed today, you can do so at hwsnackbreakpodcast@gmail.com. See you soon. Stay safe.